But I want to know who told her that this was a good idea. You know from the title of this video what we are doing today, and I am so excited to try these products. Today we are reviewing the new Pat McGrath Labs Bridgerton 2 collection. I have the eyeshadow palette, I have this blush palette, I have a couple of lipsticks. We're going to put them all to the test, get into the nitty gritty, do all of the review stuff, create a look, all of that jazz. We're going to do it together. Hopefully that sounds interesting to you. Now if it does, let's go ahead and do the YouTubey things. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it. Pat McGrath Labs cross Bridgerton. If you aren't aware, Bridgerton is a TV show. I love it. I love it. I haven't actually watched season 2 yet. I know, who am I? Not because of not wanting to, purely because 1, I haven't had time, and 2, I have a long plane trip coming up and I'm going to actually download them onto my iPad and watch them on that plane ride because I just feel like it's going to get me through it, you know what I mean? Anyway, you don't care. Now, she has done Bridgerton 1 already, which was this particular release right here, and the palette is called Diamond of the First Water. I have a heap of videos about this palette and collection on my channel if you're interested. This was the first palette if you haven't seen it. I will try and remember to link all the palettes down below, but I do also have a Pat McGrath Labs, I said link all the palettes down below. I'll try and remember to link all the videos I have on these down below, but if not, I have a Pat McGrath Labs playlist here on my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Martina and I'm Pat McGrath Labs obsessed. That also does not mean that I cannot be honest about her products. There are definitely products in her collection that I haven't enjoyed in the past, and there are some thoughts I think around this particular collection that are not like glowing. I will have timestamps on this review for each kind of section, just in case you're only interested in, say, the eyeshadow palette or the blush palette or the lips or whatever. You can go and see the application, etc. of those particular products. I'm going to cover off on the like nitty gritty details of each of these products first, and then we'll get into putting together a look. I am going to tell you, I know that a lot of you are going to want me to compare this palette with this palette in particular, the original Bridgerton one, but also other shades in my collection like I did with this palette, and I'm not going to do it in this video. I am going to have another video coming this week where I do all of the swatch comparisons like I did with this original one, so stay tuned. I will do swatches of this one today though, just so that you can see them obviously like I normally do. Don't you worry, pretty little face. Now let's just go ahead and get stuck into the eyeshadow palette first then, shall we? Mothership Belle of the Ball, and this is what the packaging looks like. Now my lights are going to be quite high, so I'm just going to drop my lights down for you guys so that you can see like true to color what this product looks like. The lights are dropped down really low, and then this is what the packaging looks like on the palette itself, and then the outer carton that this comes in is exactly the same. So it has all the shade names and everything on the back here. This is a sticker, so if that bothers you, it's not like the Mothership palettes where it's like really luxe feeling like that. And then this is the actual palette on the inside. I have already done swatches and everything of this, so it's not like brand new untouched, I'm sorry. But you do get like the little bees on here and the queen's head as well on the palette like you did with the original Bridgerton collection. I will insert as well in here right now the swatches of this palette. This particular palette right here is 98 Australian dollars, and I don't think that that's necessarily too bad of a price point for this palette, considering that there is actually 2 astral shades in here, and I think that that makes it a little bit more worthy of that higher price tag. I'm fairly certain that this one was also the same price. If not, it was like $91, $89 or $91, but I can't remember off the top of my head. The first thing that I want to kind of acknowledge is the packaging. So again, it's exactly the same as this one. If you got this and you hated the packaging and that ruined the whole palette for you, don't even bother picking this up because it's exactly the same. It isn't that super heavy luxe Pat McGrath Labs packaging that you have come to know and love for this palette. In fact, I would say that for this whole collection especially. It's definitely cardboard. It's not super lightweight, but it's also not heavy and luxe feeling. And then even with the sticker on the back, it just feels a little bit tacky. I know a lot of people hate this kind of Bridgerton like packaging. They think that this is tacky. I don't mind it. Like, it doesn't bother me either way. I mean, it's not luxe feeling in any way, and I don't look at it and think high fashion, but I also don't personally hate it, but it wouldn't be my favorite from her. Let me actually read to you the description of this palette. Celebrating season 2 of the Shondaland and Netflix smash hit Bridgerton, this next generation limited edition palette presents 6 resplendent Regency era eyeshadows in 5 futuristic finishes. So velvety plum matte, peony pink satin matte, she calls it a peony pink satin matte eye blush, a luminous pale rose gold highlighter, and an electrifying pair of sparkling astral shades in pastel aqua, metallic, and divinely deepened chartreuse. So that's interesting. I actually said the wrong thing. I thought, so it's kind of like 3 special shades. So she's saying these 2 are special shades, like the astral shades, and then this one's like a highlighter. But when you swatch this is exactly like the special shades in Utopian Dream. You know those purple special shades in Utopian Dream? That's what this swatch is like, so that's super interesting. So really you're getting 3 special shades then. I would have said that this is more of a metallic. I mean, it's not. It's definitely more special than a metallic, but I would have said the aqua one's more of a metallic and the other 2 were special, so that's interesting. I mean, then happy days, 3 special shades in my mind. So that is the eyeshadow palette for now, and we will create a look with it shortly. Let's talk about the Blushing Delights palette, shall we? Here's where I'm probably not, you know, if you love this and you love this style, then, you know, let's just, 2 things can be right at once. Everyone can have different opinions, okay? What is this? I mean, I understand the theory behind it, right? Like, I understand that this kind of big box like this is that kind of era. Like, I know makeup probably came in like packaging like this, but I want to know who told her that this was a good idea. I want to know who was like, oh my God, this is amazing, this is beautiful, because this is, when I saw the photos of these online, and I feel like the consensus online generally has been that this is ugly and bulky. And I was like, I think even in my, like, when I talked about it in new makeup releases or in a video or something, I was like, oh yeah, but I feel like maybe it's one of those things that you get in person and, you know, you are like, oh wow, that's amazing. And that really isn't the case. This has actually managed to be uglier in person than it has been online, in my opinion. So this actual blushing palette was $91. And look, I don't even know what to say about this. Honestly, the actual packaging itself is, again, I'll turn my lights down just one sec. The actual, I mean, one, it came with sticky tape on it, so to hold it together, which I get. But when I pulled the sticky tape off, it pulled all of the cardboard off. So now my packaging is ruined. So don't appreciate that. You get the back here, which is all fine. It's like, is this a sticker? Yeah, so it's another sticker on the back here, whatever. Like, not luxe feeling in any way, but okay. And then you get the shade names and the layout here, and then this is the front of it. And I, like, look, I get the whole box, but like, can you see how thick this is? Like, let me even try and, like, these are thicker palettes as it is. And like, it's huge, it's huge. It's just such thick packaging. I don't even know where I'm gonna bloody store this because it's so thick. And then you lift this off, which if you let this like roll around, or like if you're gonna let this like kind of clunk around in a drawer, this is just gonna come off really easy because, see, like it just comes off really easy. So just keep that in mind. Then this is the actual palette itself. And then I don't know if you guys can see how high these are raised out of this packaging. So I would really not want to drop this. I feel like if you drop this, they're just gonna like pop off. But if they're so highly raised, which I get, maybe that's like a formula thing or something, why does it have to be such big bulky packaging then? Because really it could have been this thin, because like this little bit here, because the rest of it sits up on top of it. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know, you guys, this packaging to me is not Pat McGrath Labs worthy. It's not Pat McGrath Labs worthy. It's tacky. It feels like something when I was 6 years old I would have begged my mum for. I would have thought it was amazing. It just, it feels like, and it looks like children's makeup to me. It does not feel like this palette should be 91 Australian dollars, because that's how much it is on its own. It's 91 Australian dollars. Now, I'm not talking about the product itself because we haven't got to that point yet. I'm just talking about the packaging and the feeling and the look of it. It's like something that, like, even if say this product's incredible, right? We haven't tried it yet, but say it's amazing. Well, if I ever travel anywhere, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to take it with me because it's freaking huge. And yeah, okay, maybe we don't travel as much these days, or maybe some people don't care about it, but for me, I do care about that, because when life's normal, I do travel quite a bit. I mean, I wouldn't even take this to like a sleepover or something, or a weekend getaway, because it's, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how I'm gonna store this in my collection, and I have a big collection with like storage, let alone someone who keeps like their makeup collection in their bathroom drawer. Yeah, I just don't know. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but I can't stress to you enough how tacky and cheap this feels. And I know, like, old school, like the era, packaging, all of that jazz, but it's so impractical. And she did, like, I should mention as well, she had other things in this collection. She had the body shimmers, and she had an eyeliner. I wanted the eyeliner, but I didn't pick it up because it said it wouldn't ship until the 6th of April if you picked that up. So that's why I didn't pick that up. I'm too impatient, but I will eventually. And then the body glitters actually look beautiful, and I did kind of want to pick one on, but I just wouldn't use it. I don't really, like, I usually wear t-shirts up to here. It's just not who I am. So, but they look very pretty, and I'm sure they're great. But they also were in little packaging like this, and that makes sense for them, right? Because you get the little puff and you, like, you know, so it was like, could you not have channeled this through that packaging and then made this like something more practical like this one? And I get that it would have had to have been thicker than this, but like, this is reasonable and smart and like great to travel with, etc. This is just ludicrous to me. This has not hit the mark for me in any way, shape or form in terms of packaging, etc. And I know I've rambled on about that for a really long time, but I feel very passionately about like, what the F is this, okay? Okay. Just leave it there. Now I'm going to insert swatches of these blushes and highlighter for you right now so that you can see. And from the swatches, you're going to see that these are incredibly beautifully, highly pigmented, very creamy products. And I do feel like these will work absolutely perfectionately. I don't know if that's a word, but like, they will be perfection on the face. I truly feel that just from the swatches. You'll need to be careful at how pigmented they are though, but they just look and feel beautiful and are such high quality. It is really just the packaging that really irritates me. These are the lipsticks. You got the pink ones and the blue ones. I'm not actually sure what the difference was between them. I could look, but you know. Anyway, this is the cartons that these came in, and actually these are really cute. I really like these. Like, it's got the Pat McGrath Labs logo on it, and then it's got the queen head, and these are gorgeous. I actually really like this. Online, I really loved the look of these, and look, looking at them, they're very pretty. They're very cute, and like the actual product on the inside as well looks absolutely beautiful. And I'm actually going to insert swatches of these two products right here as well. When I took these out of the packaging, because I was very excited, it's very rare, if you have been around here for a little while, you know it's very rare for actually me to pick up lip products, especially lipsticks or liquid lips, etc. I just don't really usually spend my money on lipsticks because it's really hard for me to go through them a lot. But when I saw these, not just the packaging, but the actual tones of them, I was like, oh wow, these are beautiful, can't wait to get them. And was envisioning a very like Pat McGrath feeling lipstick, and then I pulled them out of the packaging and I felt them and I lifted them and I was disappointed instantly. And I'm not saying that about the product, I'm just saying this about the packaging. And I know some people really don't care about packaging, and that's totally fine. Just skip through to like the next timestamp if you want. But you know, I do know that a lot of you like me who purchase luxury makeup, it's the whole experience that you are purchasing. It's not just the quality of the makeup, it is the packaging, it's the way that it makes you feel, it's all of that. It's like purchasing, I guess, like a Louis Vuitton bag or something like that. It's like the equivalent sometimes, that luxury makeup feeling. So that's why I'm going into this level of detail for you. And it is also one of the reasons why I have always loved Pat McGrath, is really having that luxury makeup experience. If you have her other lipsticks, you know, this is one of her other lipsticks, for example, and this is luxe. It's kind of, it's not heavy feeling, but it has some heft to it. It's not, I mean, it probably is plastic, but it doesn't really feel like plastic. And you get, you know, the beautiful touches on it, etc. Now these ones here, they're littler, which is, we'll get to that in a second. So they are smaller, so keep that in mind. But they are so light. Like this one feels like you're holding something. It doesn't feel like a paperweight or anything like that, but it just, if you've got one of these, you know what I mean. These are just super light. They're super plasticky feeling. Like this one here, you're kind of like, are you plastic? I'm sure you are, but are you? Whereas this one, you're like, oh my God, you just feel like, you know when you get those like Bic pens and the lids are like that super plastic, lightweight, plasticky feeling from those really cheap pens that you pick up? That's what this feels like. It's so cheap feeling. And like, sure, okay, fine, like it's still pretty, but it's just so not what you think Pat McGrath is going to be. These were $43 each, and these ones right here, so this is the normal size, this is this one, so this is 43, that's Australian dollars, and these are 58. Now you actually get 3.7 grams of product in this, and you get 4 grams of product in this. So you're not actually missing out on too much, and you are saving, what is that? $15. So that's actually pretty decent. For only like 0.3 of a gram less, you know, you are saving $15, and this one works out to be like $11.62 per gram, and this one is $14.50 per gram. So you are saving some money. I actually picked up the eyeshadow palette, the blush palette, and one of the lip products in a bundle, and the bundle was 210 Australian dollars, and then full price for all 3 of those products was $232. So I saved myself like $22, I think it was, you know, purchasing the 3 products bundled together, and then I used the code Bridgerton 10 and I got 10% off that as well. So I actually feel like that's a really good deal. What did I pay off? What's 10% off that? Like, I think I paid like $189 or $190 for all 3 of those products. So I'm actually not mad at that, considering I know how much Pat McGrath is normally. And then I picked up like an additional lip product. That is all the ranting and raving that I am going to give you guys on the actual packaging of the product. We are now going to zoom in nice and close, and we are going to create a look together using these products, and we're going to see what the actual formula and quality of the actual physical makeup is. So let's go ahead and zoom on in. Zoomed in nice and close. Now I have primed my lids with my Makeup by Mario eye primer like I always do. This is my favorite primer to use on the eyes, especially for my Pat McGrath shadows. I feel like I can use every shade in here today. I really do. I feel like I can make it work. So let's give it a go, shall we? The first one I'm going to dip into is the pink, the satin matte, which honestly, I love these satin mattes. I want, like I've said this a million times on my channel, but I want an entire Pat palette of these satin mattes in like every shade. You know, like the Viseart Pro palettes, like the really big ones that have like every kind of shade under the sun, and you can get the matte and the shimmer version. I want that, but in this satin matte formula. I just really like it. It's like such a good one and done kind of shadow, and there's no fallout, but look how easily it blends. Such a good formula, such a good formula. Oh, this is a Rephr 16, by the way. I don't know if you guys already can tell, but like if you have the first Bridgerton palette, this pink shade is nowhere near as bubblegum pink as those shades. They come out like bright hot pink on the lids in the first palette, in the Diamond of the First Water. Hopefully you guys can see a little bit better. I just brought you in a little bit closer. Let's go ahead and move into this one right here now, which is the only matte in the palette, and I think it's called Forbidden Amour. Oh gosh, I'm gonna butcher that name, Forbidden Amour. So you would have seen, I did a picture at the start of the side-by-side Diamond of the First Water and this shade. This is a Rephr 14, by the way. And they're very, very similar, and it does, do I want to say it surprises? I guess it doesn't surprise me, because Pat seems to have a habit of doing this. Just don't understand why she put such similar shades in this palette as she did in the first palette, because like, you know, obviously you want, if I was thinking like in a business mind, if I was going to release a second edition, I wouldn't want anyone questioning whether or not they needed it. I would want them being like, hell yeah, I need that because the first one was so good and these colors are different, and I need that because I don't have it in my collection. Whereas like, she's kind of put the same tones with like these 3 shades here. So it's like you're spending $98 on these three, and like not a lot of people can justify that or would even want to justify that. I just find it kind of interesting that she didn't make these shades like a lot more different than the first. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that they're not pretty, because they are. Look, they're gorgeous and they're performing wonderfully. Just don't know. I just don't quite know the thought process. And I know so many people saw this and were so disappointed because they were like, it's exactly like the first one. Now we're gonna get into the really fun special shades. I'm gonna take my Intensify stick from Pat and I'll put it 3/4 over the lid. So I'm just gonna pick up a flat shader brush here. And the first color I'm gonna go into is the Chartreuse shade, which is right here, and I think it's called Forever Charmed. And this looks amazing. I know that so many of you are gonna comment saying how close is it to Subversive. I don't know yet, I haven't tried it, but I will do that in the swatch comparison video, trust me. So I'm gonna tap this onto the outer corner here. Oh, yep, that's everything I wanted it to be. This is more of like the Blitz kind of shades, you guys. So if you have watched my latest Pat McGrath Labs ranking video, I really kind of go into, and even my like eyeshadow tips and tricks video, I really go into the kind of different type of Pat McGrath special shades there are, where you've got these ones that are more like these kind of more metallic opaque formulas, and then you've got these like really glittery ones that are like proper glitter shadows. So this one is like that more opaque style, so you're not really going to get a lot of fallout with this, especially if you're using a glitter glue or the Intensify stick. You should not get any fallout from these shadows really. Now I'm going to go into the mint shade because it's amazing and I need to. So this is just a Rephr number 2. That's really pretty. A lot more understated on the eye than you would anticipate actually. I'm gonna try it with my finger on the other eye just to see. Okay, so them together, amazing. And I think that that looks exceptional as it is, but obviously we need to use this shade. I'm just gonna pick up this Delium Tools 773 and I'm gonna take my NYX setting spray and I'll pick this up on the brush, and I will actually wet my brush. Ooh, she's pretty. Gorgeous. I mean, it's kind of covered up the mint, but you know, just the mint. And then with the sparkles. Very pretty though. If you don't like those glittery shades from Pat, you won't like this, but I am into it. Ooh. Not mad, not mad. Okay, so they're the eyes for now. I'm gonna quickly go and do my base makeup, and then we'll come back, we'll finish up the eyes, and then we'll move on to the blush palette and the lipsticks, but there will be timestamps as well, so I will be back. I'm back and all of my base makeup is done. I've done everything except for blush and highlight and lips, obviously, and my lower lash line. So let's go ahead and finish my lower lash line. I guess I'll just pop this one underneath there and then like use the matte shade to kind of deepen it up a little bit, like you guys watch me do nearly every video. And then I'll just pick up some of the dark plum matte. And then for inner corner, we will go into the last shadow that we have to use, which is this one right here, just on a pencil brush. Actually, what's super interesting is putting this shade over the top of this one has turned it into like a gunmetal silver. Like you would never guess that that is mint underneath there, right? Super, super interesting. I mean, to be fair, I actually really like this eye look. I think it's really, really pretty. It's super glam. Like I would wear this to dinner personally, but like it's definitely not an everyday makeup look in any way, but I just wanted to use as many of the shades as I could for you guys, that's why. I'm just gonna quickly go and put black eyeliner in this top one and this champagne color on the bottom and my mascara on, and then we will come back and we will do the blush and the highlight. I'm super excited to see how this blushing palette, Blushing Delights, is gonna go. All right, let's move on to this big chunk of thing. I just cannot get over this packaging. I cannot get over it. Okay, so in this one, you've already seen the swatches, but you have the highlight and then the 3 blushes. And actually, let me read the description of this because I haven't. The overview of this one says, master the art of multi-dimensional color and highlighting with a cheeky complexion quartet inspired by Shondaland and Netflix Bridgerton Season 2. It stars 3 baked blushes complemented by a heavenly heart-shaped melange highlighter, curated to achieve divine regency meets modern luster. Each silky featherlight formula glides on, blending and building with exquisite ease, imparting legendary luminosity to the cheeks, high points of the face and beyond. These blushing delights are arrayed like the most luscious of bonbons in a glamorously giftable keepsake box adorned with Pat's gilt hallmarks. Okay, talc-free baked formulas. I like that. Mistake-proof buildability. That will be interesting to see because I don't know if you saw the swatches of these, but these swatch so opaque. Vivid color purity, which is great for all skin tones. Multi-dimensional pearl finishes, they definitely seem glowy. So this is a keepsake box. I don't want to keep, let's not. All right, let's go into the highlighter. Now, I normally would put cream blush and highlight on. I don't have any highlight. It looks like I do, but I actually don't. I have no cream highlight, no cream blush, nothing on. So I'm just taking, this is a clean tapered brush from BH Cosmetics. So we're gonna go into this heart-shaped highlight. It's very glittery, so it'll be interesting to see. Oh, that's pretty. I actually anticipate these formulas to be beautiful because they're very different to her actual blush formula. Look at that. Gorgeous. It's definitely glittery and it has like a little bit of fallout. So if you don't like that glitter, it's not, how would I describe this? I don't have a formula like this actually. It feels like quite natural. Like you can see it in the thing here. And when I use my setting spray over this, it'll melt fully into the skin, but it has like these little flecks of glitter that don't show up necessarily, or they do a little bit, show up a little bit on the actual highlight, but more so the little flecks are flicking over my face. But I feel like when I use my setting spray, they'll melt in. But if you don't like that glittery type highlight, it's not super glittery. I don't want that to turn you off, but it does have flecks of little glitter in it that I don't know, like, I don't know if you can even see that on my nose there. So just keep that in mind. Let's move on to blush. I've got my Rephr number 5. Which color will I do? I feel like I'm gonna do this color on this side and maybe this color on the other side and maybe just like put the pink over the top. Too bad I don't have 3 cheeks. Buildable, really? I'm nervous. Okay. Oh. Yeah, they're more pigmented than she probably describes, you guys. So just don't go in with a heavy hand because look how pigmented that is. Very beautiful though. Oh, that's a good blush. Let's go into this color because this is a darker one, right? Like look at how pigmented they are. So I'm just wiping the excess off. Yeah, so that's like almost like a really mauvey kind of, it's like almost like a bruisey purpley color on me. I feel like this color is probably not super suitable for me. So I'm just gonna dull it down a little bit. Very pigmented. These are so pigmented. I'm actually gonna dip into this pink shade and put it over the top of this because I don't actually super like that berry shade on my skin tone, or at least with this eye look. Yeah, these are not buildable. They're not buildable, okay? They're very pigmented. So please don't go in with like, see? Don't go in with like a super heavy hand because, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like that doesn't mean the product's bad because actually I think the product looks super pretty, really pretty. Like I can see myself using these a lot, but I just mean like, don't go and like scribble it on your face. You're probably gonna find that, you'll look like a clown, you know what I mean? But I think these are very pretty. I'm just gonna take some of that bubblegum pink shade though. So that's like the apricot pinky, like apricot-y kind of shade, and then that's the darker shade and the pink shade. I'm just gonna put the pink shade over the top of this just to make myself not look so different. See, like I wish you could feel how light of a touch that I was using, and like, look how pigmented these are. Don't go ham. You'll rue the day. okay? But I like it. I like the formula. I think it's very pretty. Let's go ahead and take some of my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray and see how these kind of melt down. This is kind of like how I like to do it on the everyday. So I usually then go in with my setting spray at this step on my sponge, and it just like melts all of the products together and really creates that like kind of naturalish look. I mean, I'm still wearing makeup, but you know what I mean. That's pretty. Oh, I like this, you guys. I actually really like this product. I hate the packaging, but I love the product. It's glowy, but it's not like glowy in the sense that it's going to emphasize your texture. It really looks like that lip from within glow. I really enjoy this formula. All right, let's move on to lips. So I've got these two right here. Let me take my lip balm off. Okay, so one of these is like a peachy kind of nude and the other one is like a pinky kind of nude. So I've got these two. I've already showed you guys the swatches of these. So I'm going to use I don't actually have a Pat McGrath lip liner that will suit these. So I'm going to use the Iconic Nude from Charlotte Tilbury for the peachy nude and then the Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury for the pinky nude. So I feel like I'm going to want to finish with Veiled Rose. So let's do Negligee first. I'm just going to line my lips quickly with this Charlotte Tilbury one and then we'll use the lipstick. So we're taking this one. And let's give this a go. I feel like this is going to be a formula. It's a satin finish as well. Yep, love it. Didn't think I would. I mean, I thought I would like the formula. I wasn't sure about the shade, which has nothing to do with Pat herself, more so my preference, but I like that. So this one is Negligee, if you're wondering. I like this. I actually really, honestly, you guys, did not think I was gonna like this color. When I got them and pulled them out of the package, I was like, oh, I picked the wrong colors. But I like it. And I'm happy with it. Yay. That makes me very excited. I did not waste my money. I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna put the Pillow Talk liner on and then we'll put Veiled Rose on. So I've got Pillow Talk on. Let's use this one now. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. This is exactly what I wanted this shade to be and I am so happy because I was so nervous when I got these and looked at them. They looked so much darker. Oh my gosh. Veiled Rose, you guys, on the lips. Stunning. Love it. Will 100% wear this. Now I would just want to go pick up all the others. That's not really that fair. I might wait for her to have 35% off these. I hope these aren't limited edition. I'm going to need her to make these shades permanent. All right, let me go you know, fix my hair, all that jazz, and then we'll come back and I'm gonna wrap up my thoughts for you guys. So just a sec. Okay, so this is the finished makeup look. What do you guys think? Overall, I am really, really happy with how the whole look turned out. I think that the look itself just turned out really, really beautifully, at least in my humble little opinion, but let me know what you think. Now let's just quickly recap what I think of these palettes now that, these products I should say, sorry, now that I've used them. I have a little hair here, it's driving me nuts. Okay, this eyeshadow palette. So if you have Diamond of the First Water and you love the quality of that palette, because like I even said in my last Pat McGrath Labs ranking video, the quality and the formula of the Bridgerton First palette, the Diamond of the First Water, is just another level in my opinion from Pat McGrath Labs, and this is the same. I think this is really, really good quality. Again, I love this satin matte formula. These three shades here are just truly impeccable. What lets this palette down is these three shades right here, and not in terms of quality of the makeup itself, but just in terms of the fact that these three are so close to the shades in Diamond of the First Water that I can absolutely see why a lot of you are finding it hard to justify picking this eyeshadow palette up, because really, even in the swatches, there's truly not a lot of difference between these three compared to the first palette. And if there is one thing I would change about this palette is that I would make these three shadows completely different, because like I said, if I put my business hat on, especially if I was Pat sitting here thinking, okay, I want as many people to buy all of my makeup products as possible, I would have made this completely different so that it was an easy, like, no-brainer for people to pick this up, because the quality of the eyeshadows themselves are insanely good. So that's going to speak for itself in terms of if everyone loves the first one and loves the quality of the first one, if these three were completely different colors, it would just be such a no-brainer for people to be like, well, 100% I'm going to pick up that second one because the first one was amazing. Whereas now I feel like the conversation is more, but how much different is these three shadows than the first one, and how much do I want these three shadows versus the first one? Because really this palette looks so similar. So yeah, I don't know. Everyone's value of $1 is different, and as I go through and talk about these products, only you can decide whether or not it's going to be worth it for you. All I'm going to tell you is whether or not I think the product itself is good quality, but you have to decide for yourself if it's in your budget and worthwhile you spending your coins on it. I'm happy I have this palette, I'll be honest. I really enjoy it. I really do think I'll get more use out of this than the first one even, and I love these shades. I can see me reaching for them quite a lot, so I'm happy to have it. But I'm like an excessive makeup lover, so you know, take that with a grain of salt. Let's talk about this one. Look, packaging, hate, fail, massive fail. I'm sorry, I love Pat, but to me, I get where she's coming from with it, but it's just such a waste of space. I don't even know where I'm gonna keep it. I can't travel with it. Hate it. And it just feels and looks tacky to me. But the product is incredible, which makes me even more infuriated because I want to be able to travel with this, honestly. Like, I want to be able to take this everywhere. I love this formula. I think these look gorgeous. Like, I feel like my skin looks really healthy and glowy and non-texturized in such a good way that this really annoys me that this packaging has just completely ruined this product for me. But the actual like makeup itself inside is just A++. If you were someone that found her other blush formula a little bit too matte for you and you were looking for something more glowy, or if you're someone that loves the Hourglass blush formulas, you're gonna love these. Or even like Milani, the baked blushes from Milani, you will love this formula. It's impeccable, truly impeccable. And even this highlighter, again, if you don't like little flecks of glitter, and I make it sound like it's got chunks of glitter in it, it doesn't. Like, they're not noticeable on the skin at all, but if that bothers you even in the slightest, you won't like this highlighter. But for me, it's gorgeous. And like, I don't know about you guys, but truly, I feel like it looks like I have a liquid highlighter on my skin, and I do not have it at all. I only have this one. And it's just with the setting spray, like melting it into my skin. It looks so natural and glowy in the best way possible. Like, at least in the monitor and the camera and in my mirror, to me, it looks absolutely beautiful. And then last but not least, these lipsticks. I feel like you could tell how much I loved them. I genuinely was really nervous when I pulled these out of the packages because they looked so dark in the tube. And like when I swatched them, they kind of weren't swatching even how I envisioned them when I picked them up. But on the lips, gorgeous, the exact kind of formula I want in a lipstick. I really love that fuss-free, almost a gloss, but definitely pigmented and is a lipstick kind of formula, if that makes any sense. So for me, these are a massive win. And truly, if I had the money, I would actually go onto her website right now and I would pick up every shade. Hands down, I'm not even like, no word of a lie, hand on heart. That's what I would do because I really, really like these. So overall, the quality and the joy that I got from using this makeup was extremely high and was that Pat McGrath Labs standard for me, in my opinion. The thing that lets this collection down, in my opinion, is the packaging, but you know, I get it. A lot of people probably could care less about the packaging, but just if you are someone that purchases makeup for the entire experience, the whole shebang, all incorporated, then like that's my opinion for you. And again, like I said, everyone's value of $1 is different. Only you can decide whether or not this collection is truly something that you want to pick up or not. But I'm not mad that I have it, packaging and all, if I'm honest. I'm excited to like wake up tomorrow and do my makeup with these products again. Put it that way. I hope this was helpful. I know that this was a super long video, but I do like to be as thorough as I can for you guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. Did you already pick the collection up, or are you waiting to see what reviews are like before you like take the plunge? Or are you just like, it's just not different enough for me and I just don't want it? And that's fine too. We can all have different opinions. That's the beautiful thing about being human. Now, if you're watching till this point, you're a real MVP. I truly appreciate you so much. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.